Will Mason Rudolph be able to maintain his success here in this brief stint of games that we've seen him so far this season? Is he going to be the guy that leads the Pittsburgh Steelers to success in the playoffs here in 2024? Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. Let's talk about your quarterback, Mason Rudolph, the man of the hour, a guy that has burst onto the scene with excellent performances. A lot of people have been dogging him. I even said at one time he's a third-string quarterback for a reason, but he's proved me wrong, and I can be wrong, and I'm okay to admit it. Those of you that said Mason was the guy, Mason should be in there playing, and I disagreed with you, kudos to you guys. You were spot on. You were spot on. But a guy that is literally having games of, monster significance, guys. This guy has provided an emotional uplift for this team that is second to none. I haven't really seen it inside the Steelers locker room since the insertion of a young Ben Roethlisberger in relief of a Tommy Maddox. That was the last time I seen it, and I'm not trying to compare Mason Rudolph to Ben because I don't think they're the same guy. And I'm not saying they're going to have the same type of success. I'm not saying that at all, guys. Not. But man, it's hard to argue that Mason Rudolph isn't kind of similar in that way. That he, yes, has provided that spark, provided that energy. And he's getting guys to follow him, everybody. That's the biggest thing. Inside this locker room, you are seeing a group of men rally behind one guy as their leader. And that's Mason Rudolph. And he has been able to provide that spark. He has been able to provide that calm, steady presence at the helm. That's big. Real big. Guys, is Mason Rudolph the real deal? Is he going to come back down to earth? He's going to have bad games, guys. It's eventually going to happen. Let's just hope that it doesn't happen anytime in the playoffs. And if it does happen in the playoffs, hopefully the defense is able to pick it up and help out and get the W to where they can escape out of the situation. Because every player will have bad games. Everybody will stumble. But your overall body of work is what we're going to look at. Your overall consistency. Your ability to bounce back. That's the things that we're going to look for. That's the things that Mason Rudolph deserves the chance to have, deserves the chance to do. And if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, do you pay Mason Rudolph this offseason? I mean, what's he going to demand? I guess it would depend on how far he makes it inside these AFC playoffs. I guess if he goes out there in a game that's supposed to be 26 degrees, 27 degrees and clear, I think, without really too much going on. If he's able to go out there and light it up and guide the Pittsburgh Steelers to a victory or really put up big numbers and keep the Steelers in it the whole time and really look good, I think his value could be through the roof. Would it be unobtainable or unaffordable? I highly doubt it. But does Mason even want to come back to the Pittsburgh Steelers? We'll see. It's probably his best shot to start. It's probably his best opportunity to succeed, just in terms of familiarity, just in terms of Kenny Pickett's, his inability to stay on the field and stay healthy, his inability to be consistent behind center. There's a lot of factors involved. And if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you may not have settled this QB competition, this QB controversy that you may or may not even have going on. It may be clear cut. Mason may be that dude. Maybe, man. But so far in the 2023 regular season in 3 games, Mason Rudolph has thrown for 719 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a 71.2 QBR. Pretty damn good. And he played one game in a complete monsoon, and he played in another game to where Najee Harris and Jalen Warren completely went off and scored a gazillion points on their own. But yet, Mason Rudolph was able to still produce quality yardage, quality pass attempts, comparing completions to 2 attempts, he really did super well and really was positive and had a great game and showed that leadership. And he was able to make big throws and big moments to ice the football game. Proof's in the pudding, if you ask me. And I know a lot will say, hey, he's played bad teams. He's this. The Ravens weren't a bad defense, guys. The Ravens defense had starters out there. Many of them. Not just a couple. Many of them. I mean, if you watch football and you know the Ravens roster, go rewatch the game. You're going to see many of them out there. Yeah, there's only 11 players on the field at one time. But that defense, yeah, they had several of their starters out there for sure. And Lamar wouldn't even have done nothing in that rain. No, it's just tough. It's bad conditions. You either get lucky in that game or you don't get lucky. It is one of those types of games. It's a coin flip. But you saw Mason Rudolph stare in the face of that adversity. In a must-win game, he delivered a strike to Deontay Johnson that silenced the crowd, that won the game, that got the Steelers out of there with a W in a game that had to be won. And you can't take that away from Mason Rudolph, playing in 3 consecutive games that meant so much to a football team. Never really showing any type of nerves. Never really showing anything bad on tape in terms of his play in those 3 games. Even when you play bad teams, if you're a bad player, you're going to show some bad tendencies. Has Mason been perfect? No. Should he have had an interception in Baltimore? Yes, absolutely. But hey, we're not going to play the woulda, coulda, shoulda, what if game here. It didn't happen, so it didn't happen. So what do you want to talk about? If it didn't happen, it's not on the stat sheet. There's nothing to say about it. But the emphasis of this video is if Mason Rudolph is going to be able to guide this football team to victory up in Buffalo. And if you ask me, guys, I say that is a resounding, loud, monster yes. If Mason Rudolph plays the way he's been playing these last 3 games with the poise, the comfortability inside the pocket, the way he has chemistry with the wide receiver, if he continues to play like that, here this Sunday, the Bills are in trouble. Big time trouble. I know losing TJ Watt could be, a big loss, and it could be a real problem. But I like the Steelers better now than I did in that position with the depth that they have in Herbig and Golden. It's the best they've ever had when TJ has went down. And I don't think that they're going to be that bad off. I think they're still going to be able to contain guys like Josh Allen when you get people like Minka Fitzpatrick, DeMonte Casey. You have now a Joey Porter Jr., who you didn't have the last time you played in Orchard Park and got blown out. This isn't the same Steelers football team, and it's not led by Kenny Pickett. It's led by Mason Rudolph, and it's a different ball club. It's a different team. It's a more confident, more energetic team. It's a different team. And yes, guys, Mason Rudolph has brought that explosion factor into the Steelers offense. When you're able to run the football the way the Steelers have been able to run the football, that lightens the load in the box a little bit, because they have to guard the pass. So you're able to run the football effectively. That's why they've been able to be so good in the run. When you're able to throw those deep balls, those explosion type plays, those splash plays, you're able to loosen that box up. You're not having everyone load up on you. It makes you a dangerous football team. When you can do things well all across the board, you are dangerous. Dangerous. And if you have to ask me right now, I might pick the Steelers to win as we sit here today, because of the poise, because of the comfortability of Mason Rudolph. Yes, Josh Allen is a monster, guys. He is a beast. And if he is on, he is on. But as of late, he's been known to have some trouble. And if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, I think you could force him into some errant throws. And I think you could force him into some bad decisions. I really, really do. But Mason Rudolph leading this football team, guys, is something special that we all should really not take for granted because it doesn't happen often. The last time it happened was almost 20 years ago with Ben Roethlisberger when he was inserted for Tommy Maddox. That was the last time we saw this, guys. And again, I'm not comparing him to Big Ben at all. I'm comparing him to Mason only. And the way I've seen him ignite this football team emotionally is something special. The way you see these guys getting behind him is something special. And it doesn't happen often. And there's going to be people out there that no matter what happens, no matter what is said, they are going to have a negative bullshit comment. They're going to be nasty and just hateful. They must be really miserable people in their lives, dude. And something good happens. Something fun happens. Something exciting happens. Good news has come. Why wouldn't you just be excited for that situation? Why would you always try to find the negative inside that, whatever's going on? It's a bad way to live, man. Don't live like that. Don't live like that. I've lived like that sometimes. I've been negative at times in my life. Don't do that. It's just stupid. So stupid. Enjoy the good times. Enjoy the highs. There's so many lows that, man, we get enough of them. So why dwell on it? Why try to drum up low points for no reason? Enjoy these bright spots. Enjoy this. Even if the Steelers lose Sunday, guys, enjoy it from today, Monday, January 9th. Clean through. Enjoy it to the day, until the very last second. Enjoy it until that final whistle blows and the Steelers have lost. Enjoy it till then at least. But let this team get out there and play some damn ball and give them a chance. Don't hate on them. And Mason Rudolph is the guy that can get them there. He's poised in the pocket. He delivers the ball with accuracy. He has a good arm. The best arm on that team. He has the ability to see the field. He's able to go through his progressions. He's able to lead players and anticipate where they're going to be. And that is the key to success as a quarterback in the NFL. And if anybody wants to say, hey, well, these guys run. These guys are great. They're mobile. Okay, you don't last that long. It is what it is. You're taking big hits. It is what it is. If I really would like to have a guy, if I were to pick the most ideal quarterback, I would pick a guy that can run, that can move if he has to, but a guy that has super good patience and never leaves the pocket unless it's absolutely necessary. That's what I want. That's the guy I would want if I were to build the perfect quarterback. And two, I need you to have another intangible, and that's be a winner. You could have all the athletic ability in the entire world. You could be a superstar, a rocket arm, great runner, the whole 9 yards. But you either are a winner or you're not. You're either a guy that can handle the pressure and the big moments, or you're a guy that can win in the regular season, win MVPs of the regular season. But when the chips are down and the big games come around, you ain't nowhere to be found. I.e., Lamar Jackson. Never once won a big game that I know of. I've posed the question on this channel several times for people to tell me what a big game that Lamar's won, and I've never had anybody give me an answer. So, just saying. Guys like that. Guys that are world beaters all through the regular season. When the pressure is on and the big lights and the bright lights are on, can you get the job done? And we're going to find out whether Mason Rudolph is that guy. When these big bright lights of the national stage for a playoff game against the Buffalo Bills, against the number 2 seed, and you're the Pittsburgh Steelers who clawed your way into the playoffs, got some help from the Tennessee Titans. Thank you, Titans. Thank you, Tennessee. We appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. It's hard to say that. It's really hard for me to say that, but thank you. Appreciate it. But the Steelers who clawed their way in, dude, they got some energy. They got, it's going to be a tough team to beat. And if they're able to go out there and get it done, and Mason Rudolph is able to handle that pressure, It's hard to dispute that he's not the guy. You have more issues trying to figure out reasons why he's not or should not be the guy moving forward, even into next season. It becomes hard to find those answers. If he continually plays well, and like I said, even if they lose and he plays well, puts up big numbers, keeps the Steelers in it, but the Steelers aren't able to contain Josh Allen and they score, 3 more points or 1 more point than the Steelers, that's still not a loss for Mason Rudolph. That's still not a negative on Mason Rudolph. Just saying, this is a team game. You need it all. He isn't going to be able to win it alone. But he's sure giving his best effort, and he's sure providing a big spark for this team. Something special to watch, guys. Again, don't take it for granted. Don't take it as just blowing it off because he's the third-string quarterback and that he got to play a shitty 11 games, mixing things up with Devlin Duck Hodges and never got a real opportunity. And then, we'll bitch and say, hey, Mason had his chance, whatever. I don't know. He didn't get the time Kenny got. I'm just saying, maybe give him the chance. I don't know. It is what it is, guys. It's such a puzzle, and it's so fun to try to figure it out and try to figure out where this was going, what Mason Rudolph is all about, trying to just watch how he is developing yet in front of our eyes, yet again, because we started to see it when he came in the first time as, a young guy. Now that he's older, and I feel like it's a lot better now because he has more poise, more pocket presence, and you can tell that he's become comfortable, and that is the biggest difference from Mason then to now, his comfortability. It's just huge, and it pays so much for Mason. It gives him so much. It gives him that next level status, if you ask me, when you're able to be patient and you have no happy feet. And again, guys, you're going to make mistakes. It is what it is. You live and die by it. You're going to live and die by big arm quarterbacks that are going to throw and be aggressive and take advantage of situation. You're going to live and die by that. But if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, probably a good thing to be aggressive and not curl up in a ball and suck your thumb and hope that the Buffalo Bills lay over and die for you and make a bunch of mistakes. You can't play that way. You can't do it. If you're Mike Tomlin, you're making a grave mistake, guys. An absolute grave mistake. If you are Mason Rudolph, you have to check in and out of plays, be aggressive, lean on Najee, lean on Jalen. Let them help you, and which he has. He's done a great job at that. And use your tight ends. Use Pat Freiermuth. Attack the edges deep with George Pickens. He's going to be one-on-one at some point. And why not take a shot when he is? Last night I saw Stephon Diggs for the Buffalo Bills be one-on-one twice down near the goal line at the 4 or 5 yard line. And Josh Allen didn't go to him either time. Just saying. When your guy's one-on-one, your guy, your best guy, you got to roll with it, man. You got to give him the opportunity. And I think Mason will do that. I think he will allow George to have those opportunities. All right, guys, let's wrap this show up. This is our second show of the day, and I'm super pumped to be able to bring it to you. And it's just becoming so much fun. It's like addicting to keep... You just keep wanting to do it. You keep wanting to put out good content. You keep wanting to be able to bring conversation to the table for you guys. So let me know what you guys think, again, about Mason Rudolph, about where this team is as they head into Buffalo. In my opinion, I feel like they have a monster shot, an excellent shot. They have just as good a shot as anybody else in this league, in this conference. The Pittsburgh Steelers are ranking right up there with everybody else. I feel like they can hang with every team inside this bracket. And I think Mason Rudolph is the guy to answer our question. I think he should be the guy moving forward. I think I've almost seen enough, but it is still a small sample size, so I'd like to see that consistency. But if I were to guess and I were a betting man, I would bet, hey, he's going to continue to improve and be a steady presence inside that quarterback position for the Pittsburgh Steelers and lead them into a successful 2024 postseason and the start of the 2024 regular season. All right, guys, put in the comments what you think about Mason and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And like the videos. Like them, please. That helps the most. And comment as always and share them. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. And until next time, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace.